For him to do that, and this was planned out. I mean, talk about who would do this. She has her 3 kids there and her husband. Ivanka ignored him and tried to preoccupy her children with crayons while the man berated her. Now, this is a lesson to Ivanka, I hope, that she will not fly commercial anymore. She needs, for her own safety, to fly private. She doesn't have money. She's worth 150 million plus, not to mention how much her husband owns. Probably multi-millionaire as well. And then her dad's multi-billionaire. So it's for her own safety. If you can't get to Donald Trump, you'll try to get to his children. Right? If the forces of darkness can't get to Trump himself, they're going to try to get to his closest ones around him. And she has to be careful. Pray for the family for protection, because if Donald Trump is going to have a successful 4 years, or maybe even 8 years as president for re-election, we need to be praying every day for their protection and for their guidance and for their help. He just picked Mr. Spicer as his press secretary. So who's that guy? Just because they're no names to us doesn't mean that they're not good picks. Like Pence. Not many people knew the Donald Trump's vice president pick, Mike Pence, but yet he's perfect pick for a vice president for Trump. Perfect. The New World Order doesn't like the president and doesn't like the vice president, which is great because it's safety. When you have a good anti-New World Order president and an anti-New World Order vice president, they've been unplugged from the matrix. It's safety for them, yeah. Ivanka ignored him. A fellow passenger said later that Ivanka told security and flight staff she did not want to make an incident. And she didn't want to have anyone removed from the flight, but JetBlue got, yeah. Talk about classy lady. The man's husband, so it's a gay couple, Matthew Lasner tweeted, "My husband expressed his displeasure in a calm tone." I don't think it was a calm tone. JetBlue staff overheard it and they kicked us off. I'm surprised he didn't say, racism, I'm gay. Last time I checked, you can disagree with people as well. See, the homosexual community, by and large, screams the loudest, but you can't disagree with them, or you're racist. Obama uses the same thing, and I'm not making a blanket statement, but I've seen that a lot. They can have their opinion, which is great, the homosexual communities. But we should also have the right, and we do have the right, to disagree with them without being called homophobic or racist or unloving or unkind or hate mongers. Yeah, Jesus loved the person but hated the sin. And if you read Romans chapter 1, homosexuality is listed as a lust of the flesh, chosen by humans to go against a biblical sexual style instead, a biblical lifestyle in sexuality instead of a lust. The Bible calls homosexuality a lust. So, and when I read the scriptures and I see things on the planet, some of the I'd say to me, in my opinion, the most outspoken hateful spirits are lust spirits, come from lust demons that control people. And homosexuality is one of many lusts labeled in the Bible. We love the person, but I'm going to disagree with their lifestyle. Like I said this morning on Facebook Live, we should have bumper stickers. Get a wife. A female wife. Get a life, get a wife. Yeah. Oh, Lord Jesus. And listen, people don't even know what bathrooms to use under Obama. Obama's a homosexual. That's why he promotes homosexuality. And the Bible says they don't know their left hand from their right hand, spiritually speaking. So we have to love the people enough to love them, pray for them, and speak the truth, whether they like it or not. And so this is just a manifestation of a lustful demon in this person and doing this. We could say it's all about the election. It's more than the election. Most people would not do this on a plane. Most people in the U.S. actually love Ivanka and her family and Donald Trump. That's why he won in a landslide. But there are people that the demons are upset because they lost this election. The New World Order is upset because they lost this election. And so you're going to have this manifestation. So for the sake of Ivanka, she needs to, and her family, she needs to fly commercial. I mean, not fly commercial, fly private. Book a flight, private jet from where you're going. I mean, yeah, board your dad's plane, whatever. Her dad's plane is going to be available because her dad's going to have Air Force One, yeah. Yeah, but for her own safety, she should definitely fly private from now on. Yeah, for her safety, and if anything happened to her, I mean, Trump would be maybe devastated. Donald. Yeah, and so she's. I mean, you have this calm, collected spirit, humble. She's worth 150 plus million. Her dad's the president. She could have been snooty, snotty, prideful, arrogant, but she tries just to ignore them. Wow, talk about the grace of God upon this family. The man's husband, Matthew Lasner, later tweeted, blah, 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 blah. And we weren't doing anything wrong, kind of like my husband expressed his displeasure. That's what Twitter's for. That's what email's for, all right? Not on a closed plane in front of Ivanka's family like that. That's crazy. I'm surprised, like I said earlier, that the Secret Service didn't punch this guy in the mouth. Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do? You don't, you know, and they should have cordoned off a part of the plane just for have the back of the plane or the front of the plane. I guess the back of the plane would have been more safe because people come to the front of the plane and they board. So if you have the back of the plane, you know, cordoned off just for this family, that's what they should have done. JetBlue should have done that. Yeah, we're going to lose money. It's for safety reasons. I mean, they're surrounding the Trump Towers with barriers for the safety of Donald Trump and his staff and all that. So they should do that wherever they go. So Ivanka, please, and your husband. Her husband was there as well. What's his name? Let me see here. And not only that, however, 1 hour before the flight, the man, Dan Goldstein, obviously knew she was there. He tweeted, Ivanka and Jared are at the JFK TF5 flying commercial. I guess this was the Dan Goldstein's husband, homosexual husband. What's his name again? Lasner. Lasner said on a Twitter feed, that's right, my husband is chasing them down to harass them. Wow. I mean, how blind and dumb and satanic are you if you say your father is ruining the country? He hasn't even been into the White House yet and has an inauguration yet. This is a major sign of demons and fallen angels and demon spirits really just upset. They're never going to get over it. Now we have to pray for these people that God intervenes in their lives and that they turn their lives over to Jesus and have their sins washed away like anybody else. But to say, you know, my husband is chasing them down to harass them is evil as you can get. Evil. But that's the spirit that they're of. Lasner and Goldstein, that homosexual couple, were accommodated on the next flight available, according to JetBlue. Lasner deleted his Twitter account soon after. He's ashamed. He should be. He should be ashamed of himself and his actions. Ivanka and her family are heading away for the holiday, meaning they will be spending 12 straight hours on the plane. That's a long flight. She's 35 years old, Ivanka, and she was traveling with her children. 3 children. Wow. And it says here from dailymail.uk, the guy was screaming at her. Why is she on our flight? She should be flying private. That's none of your business. Doesn't even make sense. Wow. They kicked them off the plane. They should have been kicked out of the plane. They should be banned from JetBlue, to be honest with you. That's disrespect. That's disrespecting not only her family, her kids, and JetBlue. It's disrespecting the country. It's disrespecting the office of the president. Yeah. Lasner took a photo of Ivanka sitting on the plane, writing that they were kicked off for expressing displeasure about flying with Trumps. That's just Looney Tunes right there. Yeah, but it's a bigger picture. It's a clarion call. It's a warning that people need to pray for the whole family, that they walk in discernment. This is a new time for them, and they must be all protected and walk in wisdom and discernment, understanding, so the protection of God will help them. Even though the Secret Service were there, it needs to be a lot more than this. And of course, there's screening and there's, I don't even like to call the TSA doing a great job, because they're not. The TSA should be done away with. There should just be regular, just, wand checking for any kind of weapons and all that. But the TSA, a lot of it is just baloney, and they haven't done anything or caught anybody. So just get rid of them. But they're in the news all the time for molesting people, little old ladies, little children, women, making people feel like crap. Yeah, TSA should be done away with. While you're doing away with the Federal Reserve, do away with the TSA. It's just, I'm all for jobs, but not those jobs, harassing people. Yeah. And while Goldstein was happy to go after Ivanka and Lasner was eager to defend his actions, neither of the men confronted Ivanka's husband, Jared Kushner, who was right next to her on the flight, standing in the aisle the entire time. Come on, Jared, do something, say something. And maybe, it's not reported exactly what happened, but seriously, don't fly commercial anymore. This is ridiculous. It's a picture of them, and they're too close to the people. I know they're people, personable people, but not when you're dealing with the New World Order. They're mean. The New World Order is satanic. They kill millions and billions of people around the world all the time. The Vatican run New World Order. They start the wars. They destroy the nations, or try to. I would not allow the New World Order to get near Ivanka or the family in any way, shape, or form. Goldstein began screaming to the crew, and they escorted him off the plane. "You're kicking me off for expressing my opinion." His tweets were deleted less than an hour, and he closed his entire account. JetBlue released a statement on Thursday morning saying the decision to remove a customer from a flight is not taken lightly. If the crew determines that a customer is causing a conflict in the aircraft, especially a 12-hour flight, who knows? You don't want to be in the middle of the air with a knucklehead. The customer will be asked to deplane, especially if the crew feels the situation runs the risk of escalating during the flight. There you go. Members of the Secret Service were on the flight. I mean, they should, it should be cordoned off. And she shouldn't have been flying on this commercial. Members of the Secret Service were on the flight with the family, but did not intervene. Instead, chose to let the airline handle the issue. And I'm sure they did a great job, but still, that guy shouldn't even be close to them. And of course, there's going to be different opinions. People said, well, that's not exactly what happened either. I think that's exactly probably what happened. Somebody else was saying they ruined the country, now they're ruining our flight. The guy can't even sit on the same plane with the Trumps. That's an evil spirit, yeah. The guy was visibly shaking. When he got on and saw her sitting behind him, he said, "Oh my God, this is a nightmare," and was visibly shaking. Demons. Some think the man wasn't capable of violence. Yeah, sure. Who would do that? They said about Ivanka, she handled the situation calmly and with class. I hope she's protected, because I know this is, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. And these